Seems like I gotta address a few people today. So I'm gonna address Gilbert Arenas and Steven Jackson on the All the Smoke podcast. First, I'm gonna try to start it off by being, calm and answering some of the things that they said, and then give a little history between the two gentlemen and why neither one of these gentlemen asked me on to their podcast, but they seem to like to talk about me in interviews and things of that nature. And I think I can explain why, because I smell it on them. But so Gilbert came on there and he tried to pretend like a nice guy. He tried to act like an ally and like he was cool with me. But he said some of the same talking points that everyone else say. Okay. So let's address it. He said that my hands were too small. Okay. My hands were too small. The same hands that they measure for, they look you up and down. They check your body inside out. It's not like you get drafted and they just say, hey, we're just going to give you 12, 15, 20 million dollars. No, they know your family history. They know you. They do what's called research. Everything about you, they know. So no one asked why Stephen A. Smith, why Gilbert Arenas, why Steven Jackson, why all these news outlets that claim to be media, when they just the peanut gallery, they just the go along, get along game, fanboys, they friends with everybody. I'm friends with nobody. I ain't know you niggas before, and I don't want to know you niggas now. That's how I was rocking. When I grew up, that's just how it was. There's no offense. There's a lane for you and there's a lane for me. If we piece up and we rock together, then that's that. But other than that, I ain't trying to make no unnecessary friends and get attached to your emotions because I'm a grown man. See, a lot of you niggas just fanboys. So nobody ever asked, why would, if that's what company bashes its own product? That is a marketing disaster. What company that research everything about a guy and then comes up with a cockamamie story that his hands are too small? And no one ever asked, why would MJ, first of all, someone with one of the biggest hands that you ever gonna see. MJ hands is like a glove. It's like a fucking catcher's mitt. So compared to his hands, yeah, my hands are small. But ask Kurt Ramsey, he was an assistant coach for the Lakers, and he came up to me with the same mumbo jumbo. And then I explained to him a story. He said, put your right hand up. I said, I can't really do that because it's hard for me to open this hand because I broke my fifth, what is it, metacarpal? Tarsal is feet. I think it's metacarpal. I broke my fifth metacarpal, and I also broke my fourth metacarpal, and it broke the eighth bone in my wrist. So this one happened in high school when I fucking, what was happening? I got fouled during a layup. I had an attitude problem. Coming from the hood and coming in the environment that I grew up in, being in a homeless shelter. My mother having 8 children, 7 of them boys. Father go to prison for murder, so he's doing life sentence. So typical real nigga existence. And that causes side effects. So I didn't know how to deal with problems in the manner that most kids would probably deal with a problem. So I got fouled, and even though the wall was padded, I just hit the wall like, fuck, ref, you didn't call the call, and it broke my fifth metacarpal. I want to say, somebody correct me, it might be tarsal, but I think it's metacarpal. And I was still able to use it, but at times, some people understand when you break a bone at times, and I think Gary Vitti for the Lakers, he broke 2 of his knuckles right here as well. And at times, you can barely close your hand. So, but I was able to go through therapy, and I played the entire season, my sophomore year with a broken hand. So people talk about numbers and all that. I never gave a fuck about no numbers. I was a free lunch program baby. I was the kid that walked to the park with no shoes on, and a guy teased me about not having shoes. And I tricked his dumb ass into playing me one-on-one. And my feet were so callous. By the time we finished playing, I left with his shoes. They were just my size. So I've always been the guy that learned how to figure shit out. And I think when I get around certain people that ain't never figured nothing out, ain't never persevere, ain't never, nigga, I came through a homeless shelter. Reason why I smile and I laugh and I'm always like I am, nigga, life is hard, nigga. It's so many niggas think I'm pussy just because life is hard, nigga. Life is hard, baby. I ain't trying to create no unnecessary drama, but we're gonna get to some truths and some untruths. So, I broke my fifth metacarpal in a basketball game. And, when I went to the University of Florida on a visit, and then see the one thing about me, that's why so many guys gotta talk about one thing, which is a game. Well, nigga, I don't play no more. See, you niggas want to keep talking about a game, but I'm a full-fledged man. And see, men don't really do what you guys do. You try to stand on a nigga's shoulders to look bigger. But see, one thing you niggas don't understand about women, when y'all be talking the way y'all talking about a man, a woman gonna come find out why you talking about him. Cause I be over here minding my business. So let's get back to the story. My hands are small. Cool. We going, even though I broke every record, Mr. Georgia, McDonald's All America, all these things. Now all of a sudden they're too small. Okay, so let's explain the too small part. So now I go on a visit to the University of Florida. Um, and you can check with Udonis Haslam on this. A lot of these guys, they know the truth. That's why they're a little bit intimidated. That's why at 20, it's gonna be 40 years later, they're still gonna be talking about me, even though they won't bring up numbers and analytics and say that he was the only number one draft pick that played the amount of minutes he played. But they won't bring that up. But it's cool. We'll let them talk because they're a little bit jealous. No matter how much money they make, no matter how much fame they got, no matter how much radio stations they get, they still talking about little old me that is allegedly a bust. Well, I'm playing in you niggas' head. Well, anywho, and I know you gonna say you ain't jealous or whatever else, but okay. Check with Udonis Haslam. He was on the University of Florida team at this time. Um, Tommy Ostrom, he was there as well. I'm there on a visit with my late great friend Lomac, Roderick McCray. He was actually on the run, and I'm trying to get this nigga out the hood and get him to change his life. Cause see, that's what I do. I don't just run my motherfucking mouth on the internet and then pretend to be a Black Lives Matter activist, Steven Jackson, and then shoot at niggas and claim to be a gangster the next minute. See, I'm a grown ass man with children, so I don't play kid games. See, that's the difference between me and you niggas. So, back to the story. So, I'm with my boy Roger McCray Lomac. God bless the dead. He on the run. And I've always got into it with the law because I would always be amongst the criminals. All my brothers, did what they did. So I always looked at it like, if you give these niggas a different opportunity, a different situation, then they can take that CEO mind that a lot of these dudes got, that boss mind, and move it into something else. And so a lot of the dudes don't like to be honest. They fall in love with the women that come along with that. They fall in love with the celebrity that come along with being this thing called a street nigga. When I grew up, being a man was the best thing because you never left mama. You don't never leave mama when you're a grown ass man. And the things that you do as a grown man, you're gonna have a gun license, you're gonna check whatever, and you're gonna be by yourself and you're gonna be calm and level headed. Now when you attach yourself to this thing that's bigger than you, most of you act like women. See, a grown man always understand. We can always tear this bitch up, but I can't leave mama. I gotta protect these women and children. So a grown man will let you slide. Let you say what up. Go and tell your friends about it. But boy, this face cuter than a motherfucker. See, that's the difference between a grown man. Some of you do things for show. And we're gonna get into that in a minute. But like I said, ask time, and I'm gonna jump around a little bit, cause I'll be on my little medicine sometimes. But Tommy Ostrom and Udonis Haslam can confirm this story because Udonis made a little joke after the fact. But I'm with my boy Low Mac. We go into a little nightclub. I'm a young man, 17, 17 and a half, 18. Get into a little bar, a little club. My homeboy, he was a player. Women came up to him everywhere he went. He was just he one of them guys. So he always beeline to the women. He lick his lip like LL Cool J. They couldn't take it. Typical street dude, whatever. So he's talking to this girl, and I guess some dude was immature, didn't know how to handle it. The girl was, in love with whatever he was saying. And so her and her friend was getting ready to come over and talk to us. Next day I knew my friend getting punched and he rolling down the steps. So I go to